Starting lineup: Yi, Warwick, Caitlyn, Twitch, Mel, up against Mundo, Warwick, Vigar, Aphelios, Olaf. Rating of the picks for a casual game: Yi as a top, 8. Warwick in the jungle, 8. Caitlyn in mid, 5. Twitch as a shooter, 7. Mel in support, 4. Mundo as a top, 10. Warwick in the jungle, 8. Vigar in mid, 7. Aphelios in shooter, 5. In this mini-game, we're gonna have the female in the mid lane leaving without a word. Like an unfortunate marriage and some sour female juices, we're gonna have the Spanish boy Aphelios going kitty cat. And during the short span of this game, I was blessed to have one of the best possible tanks in the top lane. Let's get to it. This opening play a bit of a point of reference to this unmixed anchor point of femininity, as we get this Caitlyn wifey player first claiming the most desired and sought after shooter in Caitlyn, then deciding to rob this team blue of a real mid since she doesn't want to deal with the social burdens and the interactions in the bot lane, and then deciding about 3 minutes into this game that somebody's on the phone or that she doesn't feel like it after all and is just going to log off entirely because of personal choices and personal reasons 3 minutes in. A 3-layered pyramid of raw, essential selfishness that, despite all the turbulence and all the widespread sadism and cruelty, is still entirely exclusive to the Vatch people. A level of sociopathic delusion that some men could try to aspire to, but only a biological woman will succeed at. Requiring you to enter a mindset exclusive to people who think like Cleopatra, wherein the entire world exists only to serve you. The ultimate wifey and the queen. Display a returning segment entitled "The Turret is Still Undefeated." This Yi player going to make every wrong decision outside of selecting Yi. Yi is one of the bigger mistakes that we've made on the channel in terms of assessment, together with Garen, probably the most violated champions in the casuals, as they are consistently made to look as though they are complete trash, whereas both of them are some of the best simplistic picks that you could possibly ever make, and apparently so frequently mishandled that I had to get into them myself in order to find out that they were MVP casual champions. Display an opportunity to answer the Spanish boy Miguel's questions. You are irritable that I'm not carrying your manhood around for you and you're wondering why. There are two sides to this. Number one, as a man, you should not want somebody else to carry your manhood around for you. The traditional meaning of the word support is not babysitter. Number two, you've already gotten ganked by Warwick 3 times at this point, and if I don't put the wards up, darling, then we won't be able to see him coming. So if I don't go into the river to put up a ward, you will get ganked again. It's very revealing in how people think. I don't know if this works outside of League as well, or whether League players are a special segment of humanity and the world population. But you see here very visibly a returning team of me essentially getting criticized for what is obviously a service that I'm doing you. You would think if you were an outsider that there was some kind of gratitude for the fact that I'm constantly trying to find ways to spot Warwick so that we can prevent you from dying. I'm helping you see. But in League, this is somehow translated to a bad thing. And I would say one of the most fair assessments is that consistently in this game, and perhaps beyond that as well, people will always find ways to blame you for stuff no matter what. And this becomes a matter of three things. One, letting them have their outbursts safely so that they can get rid of the built-up stress. Two, keeping the games short and the interactions short so that they do not get built up frustration. And three, hoping that they have some kind of objective of their own that distracts them from you so that they do not spend all of their time purely getting enraged at you. It's an interesting generation of people who don't even make the reflection that dying in 2 seconds like that could potentially be shameful. There is never any possibility that there is any shame with you. So when anything goes wrong, the blame is always put on outside forces. It's a recipe for happiness. This play, consistent with what we said earlier, finding a way to molest Garen, Yi, and some of the other great beginner champions. You're going to pop your ultimate here against a hyper health tank with 5 minions pounding on you. You put only marksman items on. A marksman is designed not to get hit and to be all out offensive and worry only about DPS, not about exchanges. And here we are. A lot of this confusion, which is really the original sin of League of Legends casuals, is created by the fact that the best players in the world frequently go with marksman items because they can capitalize on their farm speed and they outfarm everybody. The problem is that you don't outfarm everybody and you're not the best players in the world. But that is something that is incredibly difficult to explain to people. The Cephalios player going to suffer from Diablo syndrome, which I will admit to some degree it's kind of acceptable when you're testing a champ out in the casuals. Ultimately, there's no other place to do it. Not a great guy, but I'm not getting mad. We're gonna have this Mel player all up in the pings, like it's the Instagram DMs and whatnot. We're gonna have this Armand Yi player try the same thing over and over and over again in the top lane, finding ways to make Yi look like trash. We're gonna have me pitching in for this very ungrateful Warwick player. Ultimately, with 2 and 5, the enemy Warwick will end up being by far the most upvoted player on either side. Since this Yi player can't get anything done at all, he's going to divert what little power he has to stealing Warwick's jungle mobs. Always a good sign when that starts at mid-game. Eventually, we're going to get this brawl adjacent to the Baron. You got a Mundo and Warwick combo on the winning side. Cliché picks, but so good all the same. This Warwick player on the red side, a very nervous person, and continuously going to forget to collect on things and to pick up the rewards, so that I will end up having to go back to pick up the Rift Herald because he just left it lying about. Considering the synergy of this blue team, we can see Yi, Warwick, Caitlyn, Twitch, Mel, thinking about how well these picks might fit, what patterns we can discern in terms of lineup. We have a surprise fest in Yi, we have a DPS machine in Caitlyn, a DPS machine in Twitch, and a DPS machine in Mel, with his only frontline Warwick. We would have to give this a high C. The flexibility of Yi could definitely make miracles happen, but it's a C because so far nobody has been acting that way when it comes to Yi builds. Taking a look then at Team Red, we see a lineup of Mundo, Warwick, Vigar, Aphelios, Olaf. We have as a front line Mundo, Warwick, and Olaf. You have mage damage coming in from Vigar, which is a controlled solid pick. We would have to give this a very low A or a very high B. This is a group that is going to do extremely well. It just looks a bit clumsy. But with this kind of berserker tank trio, you have literally everything you need to succeed at all of the lower levels. Looking at these individuals, considering them, evaluating how they behaved and interacted with others, what their part was in victory or defeat, and how well they played their role, we would have to say this Yi player, a C. The dark side of French rage, young French countrymen, quick to violence and quick to anger. You end up channeling that by attacking the jungle and acting erratically rather than finding a way to get at the enemy. You were a pure solo player. You didn't give a damn about anybody. You played this game like it was Lara Croft or Call of Duty free-for-all. You made a mockery of Yi, one of the greatest beginner champs, definitely a burden on any team. And hopefully, you will either quit or stay in the casuals for a long time, because we don't need more of that dysfunctionality in lower ranked. We have this Warwick player, elected most dear to everybody's heart, got my vote as well, with a play on the word isolated, not using Warwick as training wheels and practice mode, but rather buying skins for Warwick and whatnot, apparently attempting to go deep with him. You randomly poured it to the fountain. I think you got one jungle objective. You put a lot of strain on the more experienced players like this Mel by not monitoring the Drake, but you offered up some brawn and you seem to understand that it's not a solo game. I would say a low B. We have this König wifey embodying the female mentality and quitting 2 or 3 minutes in, a C. We have this chatty fine Twitch player. You went with Berserker Greaves, Collector, you went 1 and 2. You did a good job defending the bot lane turrets. This Mel player was somewhat opportunist, going around. I would give this Twitch player a B. You played your part, but nothing more. And like so many people, you seem to have a lot of trouble getting a handle on Twitch, which is probably why he shouldn't be your first choice, unless you're really good. We have this Mel player, showing an extraordinary amount of concern, all the while staying polite, going 6, 1, and 2. You went with Leandry, an ability boot, Ionian. The default score for this person would be an A, given your contributions and your intensity, but we're gonna bring that down to a B. because it's a passive-aggressive, sabotage-prone move to play Mel in support. Mel is a kill-sniping, mid, and an AP DPS machine. In no way is Mel a support. There is not even the faintest comparison possible with something like Olaf that could stand in the breach for a player or that could absorb damage for a player. We land on a B. We have this Legoshi Mundo player who was very kind to me. You went with Warmog, more on that later. You didn't waste money on boots. You were working toward Heartsteel. Ended up going 6-2-2. You had the best possible pick that you could have made. You didn't complain at anything. You helped out when other people were struggling. I would say an A. And please consider bringing this kind of attitude to ranked. We have this Warwick player going 2-1 with Stridebreaker. It's like you had a hangover or something. You had a kind of jittery, vibrating nervousness. You forgot about all kinds of little details. You couldn't finish anything, feverishly moving around. I would say a B. You created a good distraction and you were active. We have this Vigar player who was very nice to me, going 1-2-2, going all out fanatically offensive, having very high map awareness, but perhaps not having found their champion yet, and struggling a bit with itemization. I'd give this player a B. Solid contribution. Gotta get a bit quicker with the controls. We have this Miguel, Spanish boy, going 3-6 on Aphelios. You suicided yourself and then blamed it on other people. It's the most simplistic kind of team wrecking and an easy C. This is precisely the type of person who gives ADCs a bad name, which is one of the top 3 reasons why people lose games, especially higher up. You ended up going Collector and Berserker Greaves. You were building toward Infinity Edge. By itself, that is not terrible. If you die 6 times, you should consider items that might help you stay alive. All in all, we'd have to say a bit of a 2-0-2 mini game. With me killing 27 mobs here, this Caitlyn player killing 9 mobs in total. More than anything a quickie. I'm really anxious about what the front line will look like once we re-enter ranked, because we've been getting really lucky lately when it comes to bruiser types and tanky types that add so much survivability to a lineup. This kind of mini game is typically going to help me get to my goal faster, and I welcome it with open arms. Taking a look at the scoreboard here, we have Warmog immediately on Mundo. That is in every way mistaken. Warmog is the little buddy of Heartsteel. Over 99.99% of the players should only get Warmog when they have Heartsteel already. Warmog has an additional perk on it that if you have a massive amount of health built up, it will give you an extra passive. To make good on the investment of Warmog, that extra convenience is extremely important. Warmog can only function properly when you have the super health extra plus benefits. In general, it is not a good idea to fill up the tank before you armor it. Especially psychologically, for a beginner, it will give you a very strange feeling to have that much health and yet die that quickly. In a lot of EA games, just putting on massive health will automatically make you a perfect tank. League of Legends is not designed in that way. Health is only valuable in League of Legends if you can keep it. Your armor is your resistance to let go of health. It should be present first. If it's not present first, then your health will be like water that runs downhill. We have here Warwick immediately with the Stridebreaker. Stridebreaker is really more like a gadget that helps targets stick to you. It is not a core item. In League of Legends, you want to worry first about completing the objective and surviving. Sticking to a target is an additional benefit. It should not be your first and only concern. If you cannot survive, then sticking to a target will do nothing for you. We have this Vigar extra AP on here. Don't forget, if you're dying, you're allowed to get items from outside of the mage tab. You have the Bloodthirster immediately on Yi going 2 and 6. Bloodthirster is an item that the devs essentially use to troll beginners. They make it look like it has survivability. It doesn't. You end up wildly overestimating what you can do. In practice, for the amateurs, Bloodthirster is best served as a kind of siege tool to take down enemy structures. If you want to stay alive, it is not a good option.
Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn."
To action!
Minions have spawned.
I'm going. The might of Lockbar approaches.
First blood. An enemy has been slain.
To plunder. Urge to kill rising. I'm going. Obliteration!
Ally has been slain.
To action!
There's a smell you can feel.
An enemy has been slain.
The might of Lockbar approaches. To plunder. Urge to kill rising.
An enemy has been slain.
I'm gonna want that back.
To plunder. The might
Has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
to plunder. I'm going.
It's me!
Has been slain.
You're looking a little green.
Plunder. To action!
Enemy double kill.
The might of Rockfather approaches. Urge to kill rising.
Enemy has been slain. Turret plating will soon fall. You have slain an enemy. turret. Your team has destroyed a turret.
The might of Lothar approaches.
Slain an enemy. An ally has been slain.
I'm going. Urge to kill rising. To plunder.
Here's something that won't wash off.
The might of Lothar approaches. To action! I'm going. To plunder. The might
An
of
enemy has been slain. Killing spree. An enemy is unstoppable.
To action! I'm going. Urge to kill rising. Lothar approaches.
Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain. An enemy is dominating. has destroyed a turret.
I'm going.
An enemy has been slain.